Hey guys, welcome to Army is Able. I'm Army, back again with another video. I did catch about 2 minutes of part 2 of her video. This one does have a little bit of background music just to forewarn you, but she is talking about escaping a narcissist. So I decided to do a review on this one. I think it's gonna be pretty good, so let's check it out together.
Now I'm about to share my story on how I was able to defeat a narcissist through Jesus Christ. I need you to understand that this is a very vulnerable moment for me, to go in my closet and dig up my past and really tell you my story. But I believe after reading the comments that some of you women really need to hear my most painful and embarrassing story. But I believe it's going to set a lot of people free. So I need y'all to listen. Okay, so let's start from the very beginning. I was young. I was about 26 years old. And I met this person on Facebook. Okay. He was always, looking at my stories, inboxing me. And honestly, I wasn't attracted to him. I just, you could just tell he wasn't really taking care of himself. He wasn't in shape. He had bad teeth. Like, he just wasn't the type of guy that I was used to talking to. You gotta understand, I was started in the military. So the military men, they're strong, they handsome, they in shape, they disciplined, so I go from that lifestyle of being in the military to meeting somebody like him. Initially, I wasn't attracted to him. He wasn't my type. But what I did like about him was that he was an entrepreneur. He was selling cars and he was making a lot of money doing it. And we was both in the same network marketing company. Okay, we both started in direct sales. Okay, so we was selling stuff and making a commission off of it. That's kind of what an MLM is. And he was up there, like he was like one of like the top producers up there. I was climbing my way up there, but he was performing really well, but he was in it way longer than me. I had just jumped into it, so you can't really compare his chapter 3 to my chapter 2 weeks or 3 weeks in. You see what I'm saying? Because he had motion and he had things going for himself, I grew to be attracted to him. Even though physically I wasn't attracted, he wasn't my type. But because of his ambition and drive and entrepreneurship, I like that. Red flag number 1. He had 7 baby mamas and 7 kids. Red flag number 2, when I actually got to know him, he didn't have money like that. Everything that he posted on social media was a facade. It wasn't the truth. Okay. Red flag number 3, his license was suspended because he wasn't paying his child support. So he wasn't doing right by his kids. He wasn't seeing them. He wasn't providing for them. So his baby mamas put him on child support and he couldn't even pay that amount to.
Ladies, if a man has so many kids with a whole bunch of different women, and it's almost impossible to be in 7 kids' lives. Like, you're not making every appointment. You're not making every game. You're not going to parent-teacher conferences. Even when they start school, you're not going to, view the school, meet the teachers. Like, it's impossible with that many kids with 7 different women. He not taking care of them kids. That should be a turn off. If she mentioned it's a red flag, absolutely. That should definitely be setting off alarm bells in your mind to say, you know what? I don't think this is a good man, because you couldn't find love with 7 of them. You had 7 options and you couldn't stick it out with none of them women. Baby, no.
His license. Okay. Red flag number 4. He had nowhere to live. He was sleeping on his mother's couch when I really got to know him. So God showed me all the red flags. Here I am, 26 years old, no kids, 750 credit score. I'm, fresh out the military. What in the world was I thinking? Entertaining a man with 7 kids by 7 different women with suspended driver's license. Okay? What was I thinking? It is a recipe for disaster. Hold on, pause, because this is so embarrassing. Like, as I'm going down memory lane, like, I cannot believe I missed all those red flags. Like, I need y'all to encourage me in the comment section, because I don't know if I can move forward with this, because the story gets more and more embarrassing as I keep talking. Let's go back. He had nowhere to stay. So I paid for him a plane ticket to fly to Kentucky to be with me. Okay. Now, within less than a week, he was abusing me. He was throwing tantrums in the house, breaking stuff. Had a real bad drinking addiction. He was addicted to weed. Like, he really was a nightmare. And I began to change.
Ooh, baby is brave. She, like she said, she needs some encouragement in the comments. Because this is brave. You are a brave soul to get up here and tell people about this tomfoolery. It is very embarrassing. And this is not, to shade her in any type of way. We've all been there, for one particular person in our life. And if you haven't, just hush your mouth, because sometimes the Lord has a way of making you eat your words. This is extremely embarrassing. Like, this is the type of story that most people take to their grave, honey. But I commend her for coming out and saying what she needs to say regarding this. Hopefully it's therapeutic for her. But I have to say, for you to pay for his flight to move down there with you, come hell or high water, you don't pay. If that man wants to be with you, he will find a way. He will damn near walk there if he has to. You already being super convenient for him. You a hot young 26-year-old, no kids, great credit score, baby. I want to see this man. It doesn't matter if he fine or not, but I just want to see this man. Like she said, I know he won't good looking. He won't in shape, teeth. And that's a huge thing for me. Like, I just love a pretty smile. Most people do. And his talk game must have been impeccable for her to... Let's get it.
I began to pick up a lot of weight. I was almost 300 pounds. I had acne on my face. My beauty was affected by this. I was the breadwinner. I was using my military pay to pay all the bills. I was, just trying to be the... build his confidence up, because he didn't have any money. He had nothing going for himself. And so I was genuinely just trying to, build a man up. Okay. Now, this is a recipe for disaster. This is why I tell you women, don't do it, because the moment you build him up, he's going to go off with somebody else who didn't help him build. Okay. I didn't realize this, but I was mirroring his behavior. Okay. So he was toxic. I became toxic. Okay, I began to cuss, fuss, not take care of myself, neglect myself. I just began to just turn into a monster that he created. Okay, that's the type of power and influence he had over me. But let's go ahead and skip towards the breakup. Okay, now this right here.
Before we even skip to the breakup, I can't even believe I forgot to mention he was beating you up in less than a week. I don't even know how she entertained a full relationship and that man was putting his hands on her. It's so sad, because a lot of the times people talk about happy weight, how women gain weight when they're happy in a relationship, but nobody really, well, I guess people do talk about the weight gain from depression. It is very real. I've experienced that even myself, where you're not happy, you're trying to connect with someone that you just can't connect with for whatever reason. There's, it's stagnancy, there's a wall, it's a large bridge between you and the person that you want to be with. You were once this bright, shining, vibrant woman. Unbeknownst to you, your self-esteem is just being chipped away at. You begin to stop glowing the same. You're not as optimistic. The lust for life isn't in your eyes. You don't have that twinkle in your eye anymore. You start to become self-conscious, and that weight packs on. 300 pounds, that's crazy. I commend anybody that lost any type of weight after dealing with such a negative person. When you start shedding people out your life that needs to go, baby, you start shedding that weight, skin start clearing up. And then you begin to wonder, why did I ever stop being a bad bitch? Being a bad bitch is so much more fun. It really is. Ooh, child, I'll never go back. I'd never go back.
The most embarrassing part of the entire story, okay? It was where I took my biggest loss, okay? Publicly, financially, emotionally, I was a wreck. The fights between us would be so vicious that the neighbors would call the police on him and he would end up going to jail. No matter how much he would try to switch the story and, gaslight and manipulate and say I was the problem. When the police got there, they saw who the real problem was. The night of the breakup, he was like, I'm tired of going to jail behind this relationship. He began to blame me while he kept getting locked up, And so he was like, I want to just start over and I'm leaving. So he packed his stuff and he drove 7 hours to his new hometown and he never looked back. Okay. So when he left, things began to happen in my life. Blessings began to come once this narcissistic person exited my life. Okay. My business hit 6 figures. I was able to lose weight. I was able to get my beauty back. Just so much greatness began to happen. Right. But even though the blessings was here, I still longed for this narcissist, which is very common and normal. Okay. I want you to know this ain't rare. Like it's a trauma bond that I had. Part of why I couldn't move on was because I still lived in that same apartment that we shared. And so even though my money was good, I was looking good, the memories were there. You see? So one day I packed my bags, I got in my car and I drove 7 hours from Kentucky to Atlanta. Y'all listen. Listen. Once I got to Atlanta, I was in a new city. I was in a new condo. Everything was luxury. It was just beautiful. I began to really heal from him. Okay. I'm going to tell you how the enemy really come in your life when you really finna move on. I wasn't stalking his social media. I wasn't having obsessive thoughts about him. I literally just began to embrace this new beginning. And the enemy knew that. The devil knew that I was at my breaking point. The devil knew that I was walking into the full promises of God, right? And guess what he did? Narcissist contacted me. He said he had been following my journey and that he saw how I elevated and bossed up and no other woman he ever dealt with in his past can even compare to me. And then he said, I want to save this relationship. I know we've been separated for this amount of time, but you're the one I want to be with.
Baby, what relationship? Save what? There is no relationship. None. Nada. Zilch. And then, of course, he want to come back. You looking all good. Everything good. And he been watching your journey. I bet. I bet he's been watching your journey. He probably didn't elevate at all. He didn't work on himself at all. Didn't lose a stitch of weight. Ain't went to the dentist. Bag still funny. He probably on that couch where you found him. And probably back there where you left him. Another point, somewhere in her, she still craved being with that man. Girl, that ain't nothing but the enemy, baby. Business hit 6 figures after you let him go. Girl, that's the problem. He was blocking your blessings. Sis, when she know that, but this is good. This is tea.
Okay. Knew to say all the right things, right? And this is why I tell women, don't build a man up, because you're going to be looking for compensation. Okay. Look what I invested. Look the money I poured into this relationship. Look how I gave. So that's what ultimately I was looking for. Like, okay, well, he grew, I see he making money moves online. Okay, boom. So let us, get back together again so I can reap the benefits, right, of everything I did to build this man up. Okay. You follow me? So it was more of, that's why I tell women, don't build them. Don't do it. It's a recipe for disaster. July 4th. 2020 is the day of my ultimate betrayal. Y'all ready? July 4th, 2020 is the day of my ultimate betrayal. Y'all ready? He flew to Atlanta. He saw the luxury condo. He saw the weight loss, the transformation. I had my hair done, my makeup done. I was looking completely different. So we had breakfast and, we talking about our relationship. We talking about getting back together, him moving to Atlanta and we just, all that. So this is where it gets embarrassing right here. And I need y'all to really not judge me. Okay. So he wanted us to get a luxury car. Okay, this is why when they start speaking French, talking about we gonna do this with your resources, you need to run. But me, I loved him. I just believed that he changed and he was genuine. So he was like, yeah, let's go to this car dealership when we leave this breakfast spot, so we can look at this nice car. We get to the dealership and we see our dream car. It was a Porsche Panorama, beautiful car. I end up paying for this car. Okay, the bill of sale was in both of our names, but I put the title only in his name. Okay, this is where it gets embarrassing.
Girl, why? How, Sway? You just weren't thinking. How he talk you into doing that? Come on now. You bought the car, that's bad enough, but why you ain't put your name on that title?
The moment he drove off from the dealership, he had an excuse that he had to go be with his kids. Okay, he had 7 kids. Now, when we was together in a relationship, he didn't care too much about them kids, seeing them, be with them. But all of a sudden, now that you got this luxury car, you want to go spend 4th of July with your kids. Okay, so that was another red flag. But me, I didn't fight against them. I didn't argue. I didn't want to be problematic. So I said, okay, that's fine. He gets back to his hometown. You know, he's consistent. He's communicating. We're talking on the phone. Everything's going good. So one day I was laying in bed and something said, type his name in on the search bar on social media. When I did that, it was a girl in my Porsche talking about, look what her man bought her. It was all in the picture. They was smiling like they was a happy couple with the car that I paid for with my own money. I inbox her, I'm freaking out because I'm like, girl, that's my car. I sent her screenshots, pictures of him laying on my couch in Atlanta. I sent her pictures of us in the car together. Like, look, we just bought the car. We took a selfie together. Like, I sent her everything. Baby, she was not trying to hear that. This is my man and he got me this car and I don't care what you sent me. If you want the car so bad, come get it. Man, she was riding for him. And what did I do? I end up going down there trying to get the car. It turned into a fight. The police was called. He said I was stalking him. I was just this crazy ex. I was a liar and all this stuff. But then when I showed the police the bill of sale that we both, because the title was in his name, but the bill of sale was in both of our names, and I showed them the transactions, then they knew, like, okay, so this ain't no crazy woman. Like, you really did steal her car. You really did. You know, I showed them pictures of us sitting in the car together. Like, I was really trying to paint the picture to the police officer. And that's why I did not end up going to jail, because police said that this is a civil matter. They cannot make him give me my keys back, and they were powerless. The only job a police officer is supposed to do is to stop an act of crime, right? And they're saying you're on his property, you're being vicious, you're fighting, so we're not going to arrest you for doing this. We're just telling you to leave the premises. So the police was actually trying to be nice to me. Just leave. We know he wrong, but this is a civil matter. Just leave.
So now I got questions. He drove that, no, he caught a flight to Atlanta. Y'all at brunch, and he's just like, oh, let's go look at cars. So he was just visiting, and you bought a car for him while he's visiting? Like, he ain't even moved down there. It won't even like a month or two. There's gaps, I guess, in his timeline, but I'm very curious to know. He flew down there, and I guess ain't have money for a flight back. So y'all bought a car for him to go back to his hometown, which I'm assuming was where he moved to when he left you in Kentucky. Also, with the car, girl, you should have known you weren't getting that back. You should have, as soon as you seen that girl online in your car talking about, look what my man bought me, you should have already known it was a wrap. And what was you driving at the time? It better have been a Porsche or something better. But what's low-key better? I mean, I don't know cars, so there's probably a slew of cars better than a Porsche, but still, you get the drift.
Remember, the title was in his name, so legally the police officer looking at it as, okay, I know you paid for it, but you put the title in his name, so he technically didn't steal the car. This is a civil matter. So now I'm heartbroken and I'm publicly embarrassed because this man just interrupted my healing process. I wasn't even thinking about him when I moved to Atlanta. Okay. And not only did I have to come to the realization that he never loved me, he already was in a relationship, but he robbed me. So now my
matter of fact, y'all peep the RollsRoyce. Look, I'm just now peeping the RollsRoyce, baby. Wait a minute. You can have that little Porsche. It's probably breaking down by now, too. Baby in a Royce. Baby in a RollsRoyce. RollsRoyce on that. RollsRoyce on that weak ass.
Be funny again. Okay? Now my bank account is worse off than it was if I would have just never responded to him when he reached out. This is the part that kind of shook my faith a little bit. So before he had came to Atlanta, I was looking all on his social media. There was no trace of a female. I'm talking about not in his comment sections. Like, I couldn't see her nowhere near. But the moment I got robbed, right? The moment all this unfolded, they all on social media bragging how their relationship goes. It was so broken. I would sleep in my closet on the floor in total darkness. I never knew a pain like that before. Like that level of betrayal. It's just something I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. And I didn't want to be here anymore. And I lost my confidence. And I remember I had got COVID. So much bad began to happen to me. The residue. I remember when I caught COVID because I couldn't taste or smell.
I got chills. Just that small step backwards with that man. Next thing you know, all hell breaking loose. I got chills. That's scary. That's scary. You know, the Lord says, remember Lot's wife. Ooh, and I need to remember Lot's wife too. Matter of fact, where my Bible at?
And I said, Lord, just take me right here. There's nothing to live for anymore. The narcissist came to finish me off. And that's why you don't let them back in your life. You go no contact and you never look back. Because he wanted to humble me and break my spirit. This is why you're not supposed to feel special when your ex try to spin the block. Because he may be coming back to try to humble you and hurt you. I was ambitious. I was different. I was beautiful, and he wanted to show me that I was nothing. That's what he wanted me to believe. And for a moment, I began to believe that, and I didn't want to be here anymore. Y'all ready to hear how God showed up and showed out?
Girl, I'm ready. I'm excited. Girl, I'm ready, child. Ooh, child, I'm ready because baby is preaching. You can't tell me she ain't preaching.
1 year later, after that entire situation, I was a documented millionaire. Paid $700,000 for my house cash. I don't owe nobody nothing. Y'all see this RollsRoyce I drive? I paid for it cash. I don't have no car note. So yeah, you stole a Porsche from me, but God gave me a RollsRoyce. You know what? His girlfriend, she ended up contacting me and telling me that he abuses her, he cheats on her, and he stalks my social media and preys on my downfall. I never check for him. I never look for him. Listen, I know people get excited about me being a millionaire and about the possessions and the certain lifestyle that I have now. But y'all know what the biggest flex is for me is that God truly healed me. God, man, I was so lost and broken and hurt. Like, God healed me. He set me free. And to me, that's the biggest blessing than him restoring my finances and giving me the wealth. I'm thankful for it. God in heaven knows. God, I thank you. Thank you for giving me back everything the enemy tried to take from me. But God, the fact that you healed me, that's some money can't buy. Ooh, that's some money can't. When you heal for real, when he set you free for real, you get your beauty back. Uh-oh, I felt something right there. Hold on. You get your joy back. You get your confidence back. Let me know if y'all want a part 2 of this story because it gets deeper and deeper. All right. But I just wanted to encourage every woman. Don't look back. When the moment you realize that you're with a narcissist, you need to leave. They will never change. I'm telling you, because they don't see themselves as the problem. Like, narcissists see themselves as the victim. They would never see how toxic they are. And that's why they won't change, because they won't self-reflect. And one thing I love about me, every year I always evaluate, like, Anissa, you could have did this better. You could have moved differently in this area. You know, I love how I always correct myself, and I have accountability partners around me. Like, that's why I always grow, you know, because I never get to a place and be like, oh yeah, y'all the problem. I'm good. But narcissists feel like they're perfect and everybody else is the problem. Okay, just like my ex, he felt like his 7 baby mamas was the problem. He don't see that he was toxic and he created these broken homes. You see what I'm saying? He see that because his license was suspended, it's his baby mama's fault. But he don't see how, because he don't take care of his kids, why he can't prosper in life. He don't see that. Okay, so I love y'all. Yeah, let me know in the comments if y'all want a part 2.
Baby, do we want a part 2? I am invested. This story was so good. If you are not encouraged, if this didn't, make your spine tingle, if you don't got chicken skin after watching this video, meaning the hair is raising up, you feeling, the power and the conviction in what this lady's saying. If you don't feel that, you must not got a pulse. Yeah, something wrong with you if you ain't feeling what she putting down. Okay, baby, because I feel you knocking. Whoo, this was church. I'm going to keep y'all updated. I'm going to go back to her page. If I see like any type of update, that'll definitely be coming up on the next video. Without a doubt. Well done. Well done. I hope y'all enjoyed this, guys. I know I thoroughly enjoyed this. Until next time. Bye.